Good morning. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm trying my microphone a little bit differently, so it should be okay. Hi. I'm about 20 seconds late because I realized I finally figured out all this video quality stuff because the first few videos were really not good. They were all grainy. And in one, my face like melted. So I have to turn off all the Wi-Fi everywhere. Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Caitlin. Good morning, Zoe. It's good to see you all here. Yeah, so I just realized I forgot to turn the Wi-Fi off on the other computers. So I ran up really quickly and turned them all off. So hopefully the video quality is good. We got the Buckaroo back today. Still very confused about why I'm talking and he's not the one on the receiving end of that talking. Hi. So I hope you all are doing well. We made it through our first week. Happy Friday. Happy almost the weekend. We made it. And the first thing that I want to talk about today is remember back on Monday when we talked about setting your 3 big goals for the week. So first of all, I want to check in and see how everyone did on their big 3 goals. So if you guys can just throughout the stream, because I want to keep it shorter today. I keep going up to about 15 minutes. So throughout the stream, just make some comments on how you did with your goals, and we'll celebrate you. Make sure you get the credit that you deserve. We've got a lot of people logged on, which is super fun. If you guys can all give a thumbs up, that's super helpful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button because that's helpful as well. I'm having so much fun, and I keep saying this every day. I'm having so much fun in the private postgraduate Facebook group this week because there's such a sense of community in there right now, and there are all these fun threads going and people sharing recipes and talking about what they're doing during the day and sharing pictures of pets and what their desks look like. So thank you for making such a great community atmosphere right now because I think that we all need it, and it's really buzzing, and I love getting all the messages from you guys and stuff. So keep that up. Keep supporting each other. Bilbo's like backing up right now and backing up into the flowers and not really understanding what's going on, buddy. I've had a good week as far as connecting with people. I don't know about you, but this whole not being able to see people has made me think more about connecting with people. So it's made me make more of an effort to text people and ask how they're doing, make phone calls I wouldn't usually make just to make sure that we're connected. So again, I hope that these live streams are helping you to feel connected. I've been hearing from a lot of you that they are, so that's great. And we're not stopping this week. I had said that I was going to do this every morning that we're in isolation for the rest of the term. Full disclosure, when I said that, I thought there was 1 week left in term and there are 2 weeks left. But we're doing it anyway. We're going to do this again next week. And Zoe and Flora and I are working on what all the themes of those videos will be so that we're going to get you good content that's going to help you stay motivated and work from home and all that fun stuff. Krisha says, good morning. Hi, Krisha. Hopping on the exercise. She tells me every morning that she watches these videos while she's on the exercise bike, and I think that's fantastic. So hi. I also, just a quick shout out to Flora because every morning around 8:30, so about a half an hour before I go on, I video call her, and I make her just sit there with the video call on so I can make sure that like everything is set up and the internet's working and the audio is working and stuff like that. So shout out to Flora, who's usually like in the middle of yoga with her computer, like right down there, and just me fiddling around with stuff. And a big shout out to Zoe, who put together most of the tips for today's video. So thank you, Zoe. I took a little bit of time off yesterday evening, which is what we're going to talk about today, is honoring yourself, honoring your body and your mind when you need some time off. So with no further ado, let's get into self-care tips to make sure that you stay productive when you need to be productive and you're taking care of yourself. So first of all, I'll say that I tend to work in sprints, and that's my way of reframing things, because when I was in high school and a lot of during my undergrad, I'm not the kind of person who can focus on something for a long period of time. I do have ADD, and it's hard for me to put in sort of that full work day of focused time to do things. So when I was in high school and during my undergrad, I used to get a lot of flack from teachers and from my parents because my brain works differently and they didn't quite understand that. So for me, I'm super productive during the really focused like hour or 2 hours worth of time. And that is when I get the bulk of my stuff done. So I can be kind of a last minute person. I can be sort of a like thrive under the pressure person. And I'm reframing that in my brain to think of that as kind of my superpower rather than something that's not as good. So So though this idea of extended rest periods or multiple rest periods throughout the day works really well for me, just with the way that my brain works. So again, with today's tips, take what works for you, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and hopefully they help you to get more productive and to take care of yourself. So going off of rest, the first self-care tip that I have is sleep. Sleep is so important, and I'm obsessive about my sleep. And I think any of my officers over the last few years and any of my friends can tell you, I'm the lame one who goes home really early because like my sleep time is sacred to me. I usually go to bed around 9 because I wake up super early. And just because I sort of advocate for waking up early and just because I'm up at 5 doesn't mean that I'm saying to get less sleep, because sleep is so, so, so important. So make sure that you're getting your 7 or 8 hours, no matter what time you're going to bed, no matter what rhythm your body works at. Make sure that you're getting that sleep, because that's the number one thing to recharge your battery and make sure that you get a lot done. The next thing is to eat good food. And I know that this is really hard right now, especially, it's hard. We get once a week, I think we're allowed to go out and get food. And for a lot of people who aren't used to being home all day, I know that can be tricky because you don't maybe have experience cooking, you don't have a lot of stuff in the house to do that with. So when I say to eat good food, I don't necessarily mean to restrict the bad stuff if that's not something that you're kind of ready for right now or in a place to do. What works well for me, I tend to make everything that we eat from scratch. It's just cooking is sort of my way of relaxing a little bit. And what I started doing was putting more things in my food rather than taking things out of my food. So for me, it's vegetables. I put so many vegetables in everything that I make. I posted we had a thread going yesterday in the post-grad group of what people were sort of doing to relax. And I made some vegetable pies yesterday. I'm kind of obsessed with pies at the moment. If you've been following me on Instagram and my Insta stories, I've been making a lot of pies from scratch. And they're all vegetable pies because I don't eat meat. And they're just packed with vegetables. And the same with any pasta dish I make, any of the marinara sauces, they're all just full of vegetables. So that's a good tip. If you want to get more good stuff in your diet, if you want to start eating better, think about what you can put in your food, what good stuff you can add to it, before you think about what kind of stuff you can remove from what you're eating every day. The next tip is to honor your body. So this was really important for me yesterday. And thank you, Zoe and Flora, for really listening to me last night, sort of saying, like I'm tired. That we've been doing a lot of stuff this week as far as getting content out to you and checking in and making sure. And again, we love to do it. That's why we're here. That's why we signed up to volunteer for this. But it does get tiring. So Zoe and Flora were super helpful last night when I was like, you guys, feeling tired. And Zoe gave me a little pep talk that made me feel really good about myself. And she was like, you know what? If you feel like you need to take a break, that makes me feel better about myself because you still do a lot. So thank you, Zoe, for that. That made me feel good. Sam says, we made pie this week. Yay for having extra time to cook. I'm sure your pie was delicious, Sam. Sam made me roast once. Sunday roast. I'm going to miss that while we're in our little quarantine. Zoe says that her goal was to complete her week's to-do list, and she's on track to do that. Awesome, Zoe. Good job. Thank you, Zoe. Any of the goals that you accomplished this week, put them down here. We'll give you a little shout out. My goal was to write 3,000 PhD words. That was one of my 3. I don't know that I'm going to quite hit that goal, but I'm okay with it. I tend to set these stretch goals where it's like, I know that if I reach that goal, that's awesome. It's incredible. And if I don't reach it, at least I shot for the moon and landed in the stars, even though the physics of that does anyway. Yes. So honor your body. When you need to take a rest, even if that's in the middle of the day, even if you're sort of in the middle of a task, honor those rhythms of your body. Because if your body's telling you need to relax, you need to take a break, that's also a really great way to help you from keeping sick, from getting sick. Because if your body's telling you that you need to rest, if you're feeling really lethargic, there's a reason for that. Your body's saying, we need some time to do some stuff here while you're, in a restful place. So do that. If you feel like you need to take a nap, do that. Our next tip is give yourself time off. And schedule your self-care into your daily routine, because I know for a lot of you and for me, when you get super busy and you have all these meetings and all these things to do, it can be hard to put yourself into your to-do list. So schedule that time in. Zoe says that she works a 9-to-5 structure and she takes weekends off. And that's awesome. That's what works for her. To me, I'm super, super productive in the mornings. from early in the morning until about noon or 1. And then I tend to take the early part of the afternoon off, and I do the cooking, I do the cleaning, I do sort of those little tasks that make me feel like I have my life together. And then I come back to it in the evening and I do some more work in the evening. I don't tend to take weekends off, and again, that's just for me, just because I feel better doing a little bit of work all the time. Rather, I feel for you, Zoe. I can't do the 9 to 5 thing. That's just not the way that I'm wired. So for me, I work a little bit every day, even on the weekends. And next tip, and this is Zoe's, and I think it's really great, is to light some candles, play some relaxing music, maybe a playlist on Spotify. And I might leave this. Hi, Caroline. I might leave. It's okay that you're late. We don't care. I might leave this one to Zoe and Flora to create a Spotify list, or maybe we can all get together and create a spot. I won't do it because I'm old and I have really terrible taste in music. And if I were in charge, it would be like all Taylor Swift songs. Sorry, not sorry. So going off of that, Zoe says you could sit by a window or in the garden, get some fresh air. I do that a couple times a day. I sit outside so that Bilbo can kind of have a little wander in the garden, and I read a book, or I also sometimes just stare into space. And I think that is a good and okay thing to do. I just got the message that said that's very millennial of you. I get it. Yeah, staring into space is a good thing. And there's actually some science behind this, because our brains take a long time to process information, which is sometimes why we have trouble falling asleep at night, because we're still processing all the things that happen during the day. So if you take a little bit of a time after every activity to just stare into space and let your brain process, it's going to take, if you just got off of a phone call, your brain needs to process that phone call. So give yourself time to do that. And if that's just staring at the wall, if that's writing in a journal, I love writing in a journal. That really helps me. Yeah, just do that stuff to give yourself time to process, to calm down. And I think you'll sleep better at night if you do that too. Here's another good one. Don't check your email or social media channels within an hour of waking up. I'm usually pretty good at this because I leave my phone to sleep in the office while I sleep in the bedroom. Because if you start looking at that stuff, first of all, right now, you're going to start getting anxious because there's a lot of big kind of scary news happening in the world. But also, you start to sort of get these negative things in your head. If you're watching someone who makes you feel jealous, or if there's somebody who annoys you, you start the day off in that yucky headspace, and it's just not worth it. So start the day off on your terms. And that's, your morning routine, setting yourself up the way that you want to be set up during the day, and not kind of letting other people get in your head right away. So that's a really good suggestion. Of course, yoga, stretching, exercise. I have a yoga mat in my office area that I'll roll out every once in a while and just have like a nice little stretch, a nice little breathe, give my body some time to sort of move. And then quickly, some other little tips that we thought of that could be really fun are easy baking recipes, like 2 ingredient baking recipes. I posted the recipe for the banana bread that I make in the post-grad group last night, which is really easy. You just dump everything into a bowl, stir it up, put it in a pan, and put it in the oven. Super, super easy, and it's always really good. I got 3 loaves of banana bread today out of what I made yesterday. Cuddle your pets. I love that one because I love my buckaroo. They're great to help you sort of settle and relax a little bit. We were thinking we might do a virtual pamper night. So Zoe, if you want to post the links that you put in this Google Doc to the different face masks and hair masks and stuff, if you're into that, that might be super fun. That's a nice way to pamper yourself a little bit. Take your 1 hour a day that you're allowed outside. And Zoe says that she's also going to put her 2 ingredient recipes in the page link in the postgrad group. Take your 1 time a day that you're allowed to go outside, take some photos, get some sunshine. Binge watch some Netflix. Now, I know that I'm always talking about don't get sucked into Netflix. But if you have a scheduled time that's like your Netflix or your binging time or your Amazon Prime time, do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I love to watch shows. I mean, there's a reason that Netflix is so good. Their content is amazing. It is made to keep you captivated. I started watching that Tiger King show last night. That show's outrageous. Like, I just know that I'm going to be sucked into that. That's going to like be my new Love Island. So if you're into that show, let me know, because we can like live message each other how outrageous that show is. This is a fun one that Zoe came up with. Get dressed up and take a photo shoot. Why not? You can update like your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook, get some good photos of yourself in, write a list of 10 things you're thankful for, turn off your phone for a while. I love this. I started doing this a few years ago. I would go to the grocery store or run errands without my phone. And it's kind of weird because you're used to, in your lulls of time when nothing's happening, reaching for your phone, and you'll notice yourself do it. You like start to reach and you're like, oh, it's not there. But it really is like a nice freeing mental time. Play video games if that's your thing. So yeah, just anything that just lets you shut off for a little bit and lets your brain shut off. Those things are okay to do. And as we're going into the weekend, think about what kind of stuff you're going to do this weekend to take care of yourself, and to just relax and have a good time. And if you've been super productive this week, congratulations. If you haven't, if it just wasn't the right time for you to be productive, that's okay too. Honor your body, honor your cycles and your systems. And we'll be back for you on Sunday night. It's not going to be a live stream at 6 p.m. Where I'm going to upload an actual like nicely shot, edited video of what to do on Sunday to set yourself up for the week. And we'll talk again about setting your 3 goals for the week. And then during the live streams next week, we'll keep building on sort of these tips and advice and stuff to help keep you connected and help keep you motivated. So thank you guys so much. I've already, of course, gone over my time because that's just what I do. We have a lot of fun comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have even more people logged on. Fantastic. So if you haven't, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. And I know that Zoe and Flora are having a lot of time helping to come up with the content. And it's really making us feel connected with you. So if you have suggestions of the kind of videos that you want to see, the kind of stuff you want us to talk about, definitely let us know because we're going to keep this going. And I think it's helpful during this time. So this guy's getting a little antsy again. He's looking out the window, which means that I'm going to go take him out and maybe have a little time in the garden because I've already done some stuff today. So anyway, love you. Have a fantastic weekend. Relax. Keep in touch. Let me know what you're doing to relax. And we will all see you later. Bye.